So I wanted to start this video off by showing some before and afters of relaxers. So this is a virgin relaxer that she had done, like you can tell, and she also had, it looks like she had a cut and straightened it after. Because whenever you do a relaxer, the goal is to have straight hair. This one was also a virgin relaxer. So in this video, I'm going to show y'all how I do my virgin relaxer on the right and my relaxer retouch on the left. First, I start out in 4 quadrants, and then I take a 1/4 of an inch of a subsection, and I like to start on my back quadrants on my right side first. And like I said, we're doing the virgin relaxer on this side, so you start 1/2 inch from the scalp and you smooth it out to about to the mid shaft, but you don't want to go all the way to the ends because it's very porous and they'll over process. So you want to leave about 1 inch or 2 inches of the ends not coated in the relaxer, because it's going to process way too fast. Same for the roots. The heat from the scalp will over process the hair, and that's not what we want. And I'm going to do this process throughout the front right subsection and the back right section. Or section, not subsection. You want to make sure that there's no leakage. I like to do, one of the most important things also is to keep the brush clean of any extra product, because it'll just get messy that way, and you want clean subsections. That's what they're looking for at State Board. And in real life scenarios as well. You see right there, it was a little messy, but I ended up smoothing it with my fingers. I find that it's much easier and it's a lot better to just smooth with your fingers, because sometimes the brush does get those little scraggly ends, or the baby hairs, just things like that, and it makes it not even. And one of the things that helped me as well, I wanted to add, one of the things that helped me to not go too fast, or not too fast, to not go too far past the mid shaft, is to pull my fingers through, just like that. How I pull my fingers through, it keeps the hair smooth and even. And I stop about 1.5 inches away from the ends. And something that also helps me create those individual layers that you see at the bottom, those individual layers of where the relaxer is holding the hair at not exact 90, but out of the scalp, holding it out, so you can, it creates a much better layering technique, because I know that that's something that they also look for, are those layers whenever you're doing a virgin relaxer. You want to see those individual layers. See how I'm smoothing it with my fingers before I even put the relaxer on? That just helps for even distribution, to keep the sections clean. because you'll need them clean whenever you go back in and do the roots and the ends. And another important thing too is I love to use duckbill clips. That is the clips that I like to use for everything that I'm doing, but you cannot use clips, especially whenever you're doing a relaxer. Metal and relaxers don't react well to each other. So you definitely want to use a plastic comb. I'm using like a plastic brush and plastic clips. Plastic everything, and it's easier to clean as well. And you could also just disinfect that after y'all are done. Again, you want to make sure that you're taking 1/4 of an inch subsection and 1/2 an inch away from the scalp whenever you're doing this. Those two measurements are so important. And you also want to make sure to put enough product to where you'll be able to see those individual layers. That helps with the layering as well. You want to make sure that you make clean subsections too. And whenever you comb the hair, not comb it, whenever you pin the hair out of the way, the hair that you haven't done yet, you want to make sure that you can see that line. Alright, and now that I've gotten to the front section, gonna be doing the same thing as the back. 1/4 of an inch subsection, 1/2 an inch away from the scalp. Pull through to about until you have about 1.5 to 2 inches of the ends. Now, my baby isn't that long, so you probably could pull through a little bit more because it is shorter hair, but you don't want to leave too much. You don't want to do too much, because then if you just keep on relaxing and relaxing, that process time is going to get the best of you and the hair will not come out even. You always want to wear, some to protect your clothes, because relaxer is a very strong chemical. It's a very long process. You definitely want to protect your clothing as well as the client's clothing. So if I was doing an actual client here, I would put on my color cape, a towel under the color cape, and then a towel on top. And also for this, this is just cholesterol, so this isn't an actual relaxer, but I would definitely probably put a base cream on, or protective cream. That would help the scalp, just in case there was any leakage. There wasn't, but in case there was on a client's scalp, that could create and give her or him a chemical burn, and we don't want that. So a base cream would definitely help in that scenario. I'm going to make sure not to put too much product on your brush. If you put too much product on your brush, there'll just be leakage throughout each individual layer, and that's not good, because it has to be even distribution. Okay, so I've gotten to the retouch portion. So I'm doing my retouch on my left side. And basically what we're going to do for this is 1/4 of an inch subsection, and we're going to do a 1/4 of an inch from the scalp. I'm not going to video this whole part, because it's basically you doing the same thing like subsection wise. You're just doing a 1/4 of an inch from the scalp, and you're not pulling it through the mid shaft, because it is just a retouch. And so we're basically just getting at the new growth, and we're going to do that throughout the back left side and the front left side. Again, even distribution. So this is what it should look like. That, right, what I'm showing you right now is the retouch part. And then on this side is the this side, the right, that is my virgin relaxer. This is what it should look like after you've applied. So now I'm gonna smash it and apply it to the new growth. I'm gonna show you how to apply to the new growth and to the ends, and this is the same throughout virgins and retouches. So I'm gonna do this process throughout the whole head. You want to make sure that you apply to the roots generously, but not too much, because we're not trying to burn them. And you always want to smooth it after, because the goal is to make the hair straight, and however you leave it with the relaxer in it is how it will turn out. So you want to make sure that it's smooth, smooth, smooth. And to smash it, all you do is take the end of the comb and you push down, just like so. And that should be it after you're done smashing and applying to the roots and ends. And I like to cross check as well, and that's all I'm doing right here. So basically how you cross check, I don't know why, but my phone cut off. But basically how you do the cross check is you take the point of your comb, or your brush, I keep saying comb, of your brush, and you push it through vertically, because you're taking horizontal subsections. So you want to check vertically and make sure that every single layer is saturated. That is very, very important throughout this process. I like to cross check just to make sure, because sometimes I do miss spots. You know, like especially in the hairline, that is my problem area. I do feel like I did well with this. The baby hairs are also a very big challenge for me. They end up making my work look a little bit messier. So all that means is that I just need to try harder. You know, I'll get it with time and practice. I will end up getting it. But yeah, that should be it. This is my final. My relaxer retouch was on the left. My virgin relaxer was on the right. Again, you want to start out in 4 quadrants. Don't use metal. Always use plastic. You want to take, I like to start in the back. You can start wherever, but I prefer in the back on the right. You take a 1/4 of an inch subsection. And for the virgin portion, you do 1/2 inch away from the scalp. Pull through the mid shaft. I like to smooth it with my fingers. Smooth, smooth, smooth into about an inch, 1.5 inches of the ends you leave dry. And you do that throughout the whole 2 portions that I did, just like I showed. Another thing too is to keep your brush clean. So I like to brush off the side, like whenever I see it getting too messy, I like to brush off the sides on my bowl and then pick it up. Just like that. Super easy, super simple. And then for my retouch, kind of the same, but not really. For the retouch, you only apply, you take 1/4 of an inch subsection, a 1/4 of an inch away from the scalp, but for the retouch, you only apply about an inch of product. You don't pull through the mid shaft, because it's a retouch. So the point of a retouch is to get the new growth, because the mid shaft and the ends are already going to be relaxed. That's all you're doing for a retouch. And then you continue that throughout the whole head. Make sure you get the hairline. The hairline is very important, but don't put too much, because the hairline is a very fragile place on a client. And so yes, that will be it. Thank y'all.